Hey guys, I'm Randy.
And I'm Daniel.
We're two lifelong friends and musicians, but we're not playing gigs. We like to talk games.
And today on the Gaming Gig Podcast, we're talking about Hellblade, we're talking about Stellar Blade, we're talking about Roku, we're talking about Discord, and the ever-growing trend of predatory microtransactions in games.
That was a lot to get through in that intro, Daniel, but you did it. I'm very proud of you. Two blades, Hellblade and Stellar Blade.
Yeah, I wanted to group those together, even though we're not doing them in that order.
No.
Spoiler alert. Randy was doubting me, by the way, on the intro. We talked about, do we want to bring in everything? Do we want to just highlight a couple things? He was being a real jerk about it, and I crushed that in one take.
One take. One take.
Didn't stumble across the word predatory or microtransactions or blade.
Blade's a tough one for you, too. He struggled with that one.
Mm-hmm. My bloods are weak.
Yes. Very weak bloods. He has a very weak blooder. Does
that mean I urinate a lot?
Yes. On yourself, typically. You just can't control it.
We are literally like less than a minute into the podcast, and you already accused me of peeing on myself.
That's just how we do things around here. If you're new to the Gaming Gig Podcast, welcome. Glad you're here. This is a weekly gaming podcast where we recap the news from last week, catch ourselves up in a way.
Absolutely.
And kind of go over things. So we're starting today off with Stellar Blade. There was a demo that dropped for Stellar Blade. We also got impressions from outlets who got to play, I think, more of the game than the demo.
Yeah.
I think that's the way it seemed.
I think probably so. The only one of those videos that I watched was Spawnwave because I love John, and he had just played the demo, I'm pretty sure.
I watched IGN, and it seemed like they had played more of the
That might be brand recognition.
It very well could be, yeah. But so we got this Stellar Blade thing. I have played the demo. I haven't played the entire demo. I played, I think, about 45 minutes of it.
Okay. So we're in a similar place because I played about 45 seconds of it.
Right. You watched part of the opening cinematic and didn't even have time for that because we had to record this podcast.
Because Randy walked into my living room.
So I have played a majority of the demo. I think it's about an hour long from what I understand. So I definitely have some thoughts on this. You have written down here that it seems to be very Nier inspired, at least from the 45 seconds you've seen.
Well, yes, it was. I honestly did pick up Nier vibes immediately, and I even started re-downloading Nier Automata on my Steam Deck behind Randy here, so that I can do another playthrough of that one day. But I actually had this written before I started. I didn't start playing the demo until I had the outline done, know, because you have to do your work first, guys. Hey, there's my Steam Deck. I think it finished the download. I wrote that based on the videos I'd seen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
and the gameplay.
It is rather Nier inspired.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, I'd say you're not wrong at all. It even has, like in Nier Automata, how you have the little drone that follows you around.
Really?
There's even one of those.
Oh man, does it shoot?
It hasn't shot yet in the demo. I haven't gotten. Maybe it does, but it hasn't happened. But it helps you out. You can scan things, and
I bet you that thing shoots.
I bet it does. You also have written down that it feels like it has some Bayonetta style combat. Absolutely. I'd say that the main two inspirations are 100% like Nier Automata mixed with Bayonetta. So those are both Platinum games. So this is, if you like Platinum games, this is going to be right up your alley.
For sure.
As an avid lover of Platinum games. Okay.
What is it that you love about Platinum games so much?
Well, there's a couple things. No, I really like the gameplay, but definitely this is. Let's just go ahead and put it out there. I mean, one of the main things you're going to notice is you got this sexy anime girl as the main character, and that is kind of what Platinum tends to do with their games. And when you have very similar combat and gameplay, I mean, the inspirations are clear.
I had not even noticed that.
Sure.
I thought it was just like this sci-fi space apocalyptic thing.
Sure, you
hadn't even noticed.
I'm sure you hadn't. It's because you hadn't gotten to that point in the opening cutscene yet, where the character gets revealed.
No, but I saw it on Spotwave's video, and it's a reveal. Let me tell you, it's a reveal, people. But we did ask the Gaming Gig faithful. We said, do you plan on playing Stellar Blade? Randy, hit us with the results.
Yeah, 13% of people said, yes, I'll be playing it as soon as possible. I think that's a decent number.
Is that what ASAP means?
That's what ASAP means. 23% said maybe, but not at launch. That was the most. Actually, that wasn't the most. 10% of people said I'd like to, but I don't have a PS5. And then most people, 55%, said, no, I'm not interested in this game.
What'd you take from this, Coyote?
I think that anytime you have, you know, around 50% of people saying they're at least interested, which is what we got here. If you add up all the yes, maybes, and I'd like tos, I think that's pretty good. You know, it obviously didn't cross that 50% threshold. It was close.
Yeah.
So I'd say this is about what I expected. Maybe a little bit more, honestly. I'd say this is a little bit more than I expected because there hasn't been a whole lot of hype for this game.
Right. Now, there hasn't been a whole lot of hype, and I saw that reflected in the comments, you know, people saying, like, I didn't even know about this game. Like, why did they not advertise this game? But you know, maybe I'm just a little biased because we tend to cover this stuff, but we streamed something, one of those directs from one of those companies, I guess probably Sony.
And it was definitely Sony because this is a PlayStation exclusive.
Right. And they had like a super long feature on this game.
They did, yes.
That's like what put it in my mind.
100%.
So I don't know. Maybe we, you know, you missed the Sony exclusives or the direct or whatever, state of play. That's what they call it. But to me, I felt like I was very aware of this game. But I see where you're coming from. But we did ask, you know, well, we didn't ask, but I was wondering, like, sorry, I thought I was in poll mode. Okay, I was in poll mode.
You're always in poll mode, I've noticed. Yeah, you were wondering if it being a PS5 exclusive was going to help or hurt this game, because I think that's one of the more interesting things about it. It is not a Sony developed game. They have just paid for it to be an exclusive.
Right.
And so we have a comment here from new player 5448 who said, not going to buy a PS5 for one game.
Yeah. And we got another comment from D1 Eugens of Grandeur saying the same kind of thing, saying, I would check it out if it wasn't locked to PlayStation, but it is what it is. Another Sony blocked game, sadly.
Yeah, and we get a bunch of those because Sony definitely ponies up the cash to lock a game down.
They do.
They've done it recently, you know, with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and now Stellar Blade. But of course, those are just two of many games where they have paid to do this.
No, they're big games, dude.
Yeah, they're big games. They're not mini games.
No, but I mean that's a reasonable, you know, reasonable thing to say, because that's what Sony's trying to do. I feel like is draw people into the console, but is it enough? Maybe not. You know?
Is it enough for the game? Well, I think that it's good for both Sony and it is probably good for these developers who are putting these games together. The reason being that they recoup probably a very large portion of their budget just right up front. From Sony saying like, hey, we're going to give you this much money. And I'm sure there's like contracts of like, we're going to give you this much money, but then we won't pay you, you know, your percent of sales until you reach a certain figure. There's probably all kinds of stuff.
Oh, I'm sure.
But they know they have this like, it's like buying an insurance policy for them. And then also like Sony gets the benefit of saying like, hey, we have this game. And if it ends up being a fairly big hit, like looks like Helldivers 2 is a good example of that.
Definitely.
If it ends up being a big hit, they have people who are going to be like, well, the only place I can play this is on the PS5. Now, Helldivers 2 is also on PC.
I was going to say, yeah, that's something that Helldivers has that this game doesn't. Is that Helldivers went straight to PC. You know, I did see some comments. I didn't include them in the outline, but I did see some comments, people saying, oh, I'll wait to play it on PC. And then some other people were like, are you sure it's even coming? You know?
Yeah, I don't know that it is. I mean, it probably, I'm sure it is a timed exclusive, but just because it's a timed exclusive, we don't know that it's going to actually make it to PC anytime soon, if at all.
Right.
You know, because it all comes down to interest. Like if the game doesn't do super, super well, the developer may not feel like there's a need to port it to PC because the hype may be dead at that point. You know what I mean?
Right. And the precedent's been set with these Final Fantasy games. You know 7 Rebirth is coming to PC eventually.
But it's going to take years.
I mean, it's going to take a hot minute. Is it going to be years?
Well, it may not, because I think like technically the now that I'm thinking about it, I think Rebirth's exclusivity may only be 6 months.
Yeah.
But it may be a year, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be a PC port there like at that 6-month mark. Because I think 7 Remake, it was only like a year.
I think it was
but it took well over a year to get that PC port. So just because, you know, it takes time to do those things.
Yeah. Will it be quicker? I don't know.
Will it be quicker for
It's
Rebirth?
all yeah. Would it be quicker the second time? I don't know. It's all speculation.
It might be. I know that like Rebirth was built on the back of Remake,
right,
which is why they were able to get it out so quick and like, you know.
Right.
So I don't know. Does it help or hurt the game? I think honestly, I'd say it's, if anything, it's kind of a wash. It doesn't make any difference. And I think that it is, you know, like I said, insurance for the developer, and it's a good thing for Sony because they have people, if the game blows up, there's only one place you can play it.
Yeah, and for a game like this, new IP doesn't have any of that brand recognition behind it. It's not exactly Mario.
Right.
Maybe it does help it, to be this exclusive on the PlayStation, like you said, recoup some of that budget. So
I think it actually does help, because I think if it had been a multi-plat release, I don't know that I would have been that interested. I think there's something about the Sony being like, we believe in this game. We want to pay for it to be a console exclusive. That kind of like puts the weight of PlayStation and Sony behind the game. Makes you think like maybe this game's worth checking out.
Right. I think you're right. I think you're right. Let's see.
So the demo's out. Right. And like we've said, I've played it. You're going to play it later. There's a comment here from Theirs Dude. Hit us with that, Daniel.
Theirs Dude said, y'all got to try the demo if you haven't. I was unsure if I'd get it, but damn, what a good demo.
And this is the kind of stuff I was hearing a lot.
And this is one of the comments that made me be like, all right, fair enough. I'll download the demo.
Right, yeah.
I mean, honestly.
No, I've seen lots of people talk about the demo and talk about how good it is. And, after playing a bulk of the demo now, it is a good game so far, but it's definitely 100% very inspired by specifically Nier Automata, Bayonetta, even a little bit of Final Fantasy like 7 Remake. I think there is some of that in there in terms of like how the game is saved. Like it has these little stations where you go and there's like vending machine and there's a place to sit down and rest and there is a music player. Like all that is tied. That is 100% out of like Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
Right.
So, there are definitely some inspirations, and it does not shy away from showing you where its inspirations are from. But I don't know that that's necessarily a bad thing.
I don't think it shies away from showing you anything, if I'm being honest.
No. No, it does not.
Which is maybe a good segue because, Randy, let's just say you play this game and you freaking love it. What do you want more than anything when you finish a game?
I don't know. I really don't know where you're going at with this.
You want to be able to jump into a new Game Plus mode with new outfits, bro. Sure. And that's exactly what's coming because the Shift Up CEO said Stellar Blade's getting a new Game Plus mode and that there's going to be additional free downloadable outfits for the protagonist.
Oh, Eve.
But they did kind of reserve the right to charge for some downloadable cosmetics in the future. So my question is, are we too focused on this protagonist's appearance? Is it taken away from maybe the meat of the game? Did they do this on purpose? WT crap.
They definitely have done this on purpose. Like this is a tactic they're using to try to get hype for the game. They're saying like, we're going to have this girl and she's going to be a rather attractive lady and we're not going to shy away from the fact that we want that to be a selling point.
Right.
Like you said, like, didn't you say this dude said like, he's very proud of how hot this girl is.
He did. He's like, that was like a focus for him.
Yeah.
He's like, basically, I don't remember what article I was reading, but he said something to the effect of like, I like games that do this. I wanted this game to do this.
Right.
Something like that.
And like when you take the games that it's obviously inspired by, both Nier Automata and Bayonetta, like that's their whole thing.
It tracks, doesn't it?
It tracks, yes.
Yeah, it tracks.
It definitely tracks.
So we got a comment here that I thought was kind of funny from old Runny Elephant. Randy, hit us with Runny.
Runny Elephant says, people who aren't interested are capping or not into attractive women.
I love this because he used capping.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part of this comment.
And there's 15 upvotes on this too.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So people agree.
Yeah. I mean, it's the story around this game. I mean, let's be honest. So
yeah, it is.
I didn't want to just focus on that, but
does the
we
game,
would be remiss not to.
The question is like, is it just something to look at? Is it,
or is there more?
Is it that like what was that volleyball game? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Spawnway was talking about that in his video.
Oh,
what
really?
is it called? It's called something.
Yeah, it's like something.
Something that doesn't make you think volleyball.
It's like something extreme beach volleyball. Yeah, I remember that game back in the day. I remember that was like its whole thing was
Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
Yeah, Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. Yep.
Why is it called Dead or Alive?
It's from the series Dead or Alive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about all that.
I think Dead or Alive's whole thing is like the women is the focus.
Gotcha.
Now, what does that say about the gaming culture as a whole? Like I can see there being some arguments made that like we like gaming in general tends to do this, but this is all forms of visual media tend to do this. It's not just gaming. It's movies, it's TV shows, it's everything.
Yes, and Stellar Blade did not invent it.
No.
It's been around long before us, and it'll probably be around long after we're gone.
But I don't necessarily love that it's, I mean, like, obviously, like, who really cares? It's a fun game, you know, like, sure, like, give people a reason to, like, hang out and, you know, watch the game. Maybe it's just another reason to keep playing. I don't know. But, you know, like, I do think that it gives, there is some, like, negative things about it. You know, like, we had, like, the Spider-Man game recently where people were complaining that, like, MJ was, like, ugly. Like, I thought that was ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
I
like,
forgot about that.
So, like, that, it definitely is, like, as a culture, can we take these kind of things too far? Maybe that's not a conversation that you and I are like, I don't should be talking about or
I don't feel well equipped for that.
right. Are we equipped to talk about that?
I didn't put that in the outline.
No, exactly. I don't know. You know, just like two dudes. Like, what do we have to say about it? I don't know.
I don't know that we have much to. I don't know that two redneck dudes in the woods have much to add to that
Right.
that societal discussion.
Right. That's what I think too.
Y'all can have that in the comments.
Yeah, but I mean, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting.
It is.
Okay. Before we move on to the next topic, I want to let you guys know about our Twitch. We play video games on Twitch at 8 p.m. Eastern most nights. Sometimes when we're playing gigs, Fridays, Saturdays. Sometimes we're not able to stream. Sometimes we also take Wednesdays off. But overall, 8 p.m. most nights, we're playing games on Twitch.
Definitely Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. We never miss those days.
100% on those days.
But most days, kind of like Randy said.
Yeah.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, we've been doing a lot of Sea of Thieves, honestly, lately. Sundays are pretty much reserved for Guess the Game. And if you haven't played Guess the Game, it is fun as foretold.
It is super, super fun. And in fact, we're recording this on a Sunday, so we'll be playing that tonight.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
But by the time the podcast comes out, we'll be a day late on that. Sorry about that, guys.
Okay, so moving on to our next topic here. Randy, I know you. I've known you a long time, and I know that there is nothing you hate more than ads.
I really do genuinely despise advertisements.
Yeah, they suck.
They really suck.
Well, good for you, because you're going to get more of them. Okay? It was recently announced that Roku and Discord are bringing ads.
Not
to their
together,
services.
but this is just like a new thing.
At the same time. This is correlation, not causation. I can explain the difference if you would like. But Roku and Discord are both bringing ads. We're going to kind of break them up. We're talking about Roku first.
Okay, Roku first.
So you heard about this, but Roku applied for a patent so that they can serve you ads even when you're using an HDMI input into your Roku TV. So you're playing your PS5 into your Roku TV. They can detect they want to be able to detect inactivity, like when you pause the game, and serve you up an ad.
Yeah, I do not like that at all.
I don't either.
And I don't know if this would be just for Roku TVs.
Or the boxes
or
whatever.
like Roku boxes, or like many brands of TVs run Roku, the operating system.
Right.
And I would assume that would probably be more what it is, probably more like the Roku operating, anything that runs a Roku operating system.
Because that would be more than just the TVs.
Yeah, many TVs, things run Roku.
They come in all sizes.
Yes. All sizes, not just the mini ones. I hate it when you do that mini joke. I don't know where you're getting at, and it takes me a minute to like process and be like, what did I say? Oh, I said mini. And I told you I'm not going to start saying Manny. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. Manny is a character on what is the TV show?
Modern Family?
Modern Family. Yes. Very good. It was Modern Family.
Yeah. You don't give me enough credit. I like Modern Family.
Yeah, your intelligence, I sometimes do. Maybe I rank it lower than maybe where it actually is. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm saying that maybe I should bump you up a notch.
So, not only are they going to be able to detect inactivity, but they also want to be able to detect what type of content you're using your Roku TV or whatever for. So, let's say you're playing, MLB The Show, right?
Okay.
You're playing the Braves. You're whooping up on the Mets. We all do it.
Yeah.
Right? That's basically putting the game on easy mode. We know that. The Mets suck. We know. They want to be able to detect that you're playing a baseball game and maybe serve you sports ads, right?
Maybe like show you some some dip, an ad for some dip. All those baseball players, they like to dip.
Like 5-layer kind of thing?
Yeah, 5-layer dip. No, it'll give you some like big
7-layer.
Some big league chew maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or maybe like MLB TV or something like that. But I just think this is going a little far, personally. I'm not cool with this. And also, like, HDMI, this is where my little feeble brain went. HDMI inputs are not like instant. They take a second, right, to kind of switch over. I pause a game. How quick is this ad going to come in? And then I unpause the game. How quick does that thing go away?
Yeah.
Because if I'm playing an action game and I unpause it, and all of a sudden I get swarmed and killed because Roku was taking a second and a half to switch back over from their ads, that's going to piss me off. Randy.
I think that this is not going to be like a full screen overlay. I think it's going to be like a little ad in the corner.
I was not thinking about that. I was thinking it's going to completely take like a commercial break.
No,
That's
I don't
what
think. No, I think it's going to be like, because you can't just pause. You need information. You need to see what happens when you pause the game. You might need the.
I agree.
think it's going to be like.
I was mad at Roku. I agree.
I think it's going to be like a little ad in the corner that pops up when you pause the screen.
Oh, well, that's still bad.
Not as bad.
But not as bad. I didn't think. I went to the worst.
I mean, like what you said yesterday when we were talking about this. You said, well, like, make me not want to buy a Roku TV. You know, like, tell me not to buy a Roku TV without telling me not to buy a Roku TV.
Yes.
That's essentially what this is.
That's exactly what this is. Ain't happening.
I mean, I don't own a Roku TV. My parents own a Roku TV.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people probably do.
Definitely. It's been around a long time. You know, Roku's been around. People know about it.
I should have asked that in the poll. Like, I really put out a really dumb poll about this, and I was.
It was a little ambiguous, wasn't it?
I was being dumb. I was in a rush. I was like putting it together real quick. So I'll take the L on this one, but we'll get to that poll in a minute.
Facts, no cap on gone.
You know what? Let's just do it real. Let's get into this poll. So yeah,
Okay.
I put out a poll saying, do you use a smart TV as a display when playing games? And you know what? I'll be honest, this was even the second time. I deleted the poll immediately because people were confused, because the first time I just said, do you game on a smart TV? Okay, look, I'm just real stupid sometimes.
And you know, I like to put Randy down, but I don't like it when he puts himself down. So I'm going to try to bail him out a little bit here. You did immediately pin a comment that gave some context and said, Roku's doing this crap. What y'all think about it? And it did kind of guide the comments a little.
Right.
It did. So we got a comment here from Plus Cosplays.
Okay.
Now, again, they're answering the question,
we didn't even go through the poll results, Daniel. You're skipping ahead.
Oh, I thought you did that.
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, so back to the poll. Do you use a smart TV as a display when playing games? 55% said yes, 45% said no. I'm assuming this is probably just a mix between console and PC gamers, because a lot of PC gamers don't. But even a lot of console gamers, like my brother, he's a console gamer, but he still doesn't use a smart TV. He uses a gaming monitor like that you'd use on a computer.
Yeah.
He just hooks his Xbox and PlayStation up to that.
Right. But if he was going to play in the living room.
Which he doesn't.
Yeah. But if he
even has a TV in his room, and he still has a dedicated monitor.
Really?
Yeah. He has a desk that he plays at, and it has a gaming monitor. And then, like, he has his TV on the wall.
Mm-hmm. And he's a console gamer.
Yes.
But he has a separate monitor in his bedroom.
Yep.
That kind of confuses me.
I'm just telling you what it is.
Is it like a really nice monitor?
Yeah, it's a nice monitor.
Is it OLED?
No, it's not OLED, but it's like a 4K high refresh rate.
Oh yeah.
Monitor, you know.
Okay. Well, Jesse, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
I want that. Okay. I am going to move on to the comment now.
Okay, no.
We got a comment from Plus Cosplays who said, I didn't realize this was a debate. I have a Roku Smart TV. That's just what my Xbox is connected to. I didn't think it mattered.
If I had asked the question a little better, maybe you would have realized what I was asking.
Yeah.
Because I really wanted to know, like, the reason I asked about smart TVs, I was thinking, like, okay, Roku's first, but, you know, like, all smart TVs could eventually do this.
Exactly. And the reason I included this comment in particular is because this person's obviously not even thinking about it. One day they could be hit by these ads and have no idea why. They're going to come out of nowhere, and it's going to happen to more people than this commenter, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I think because it will be like probably an update that is pushed to all Roku TVs. It's going to be an operating system update, and it's just going to be there.
Yep, that's exactly what they'll do. They won't exactly tell you that.
No.
They're not going to do that.
No.
So I included this next comment because I thought this person's setup sounded freaking amazing, and I'm afraid Roku's going to ruin it.
Yeah. So Julian said, yep, 100% console gamer here. I own all Nintendo and Xbox consoles, also PlayStation 1 to 3, and I play everything on a 65-inch LG C3 sitting on a big-ass couch with a home theater. I can't possibly think of any other way of gaming.
And then they included hand hearts.
Yeah, hand hearts.
How horrible would it be to have dropped all this money on this setup? Yeah. Literally, like this person said, you can't think of a better way to play these damn games.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you get these ads popping up. You pause your game, all of a sudden you're getting Dos Equis ads.
Yeah. I mean, I also have a 65-inch LG that I love, and that's the way I play my games as well.
Yeah, your couch is medium ass though.
Yeah, no, I have not that huge of a couch, but it's still that's the way I play, and I don't know if LG is going to do this, but the moment Roku starts getting away with it, other people LG's going to do it eventually. Samsung's going to do it. Like people who have these other, options, it's going to happen potentially. I hope, unless Roku gets so much crap that their stock tanks and no one buys a Roku TV anymore.
Yeah, and I just don't see people voting with their wallets that harshly.
No, because Roku TVs are typically on the affordable side.
Right.
Like that's one of their things.
That is true.
Or a lot of TVs that are on the affordable side, maybe just like an off-brand TV. They have Roku operating systems built into them because the manufacturers don't have to worry about it. They just license the Roku thing. It's on there and they're done.
Yes. I don't see it having that effect with their stock tanking. I see this as maybe the direction we're heading, and it makes me sad.
Yeah. And I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen, but it's going to suck if it does.
Yeah.
It's going to make gaming on a smart TV, and already there are problems with gaming on a smart TV, but it's going to make it just a little worse.
It's going to make it a little worse. All right. So we told you already, this is not just a Roku problem. Okay. This is also coming to your and mine favorite little voice chatting service, Discord.
Oh, I know.
And not only is it coming, Randy,
it's here. It's here. Yeah.
It's here. We were literally trying to mess with it before this podcast, before we started rolling.
Yeah. This got announced, and then it was like, oh, by the way, it's coming in a couple days. Like they didn't give much heads up at all.
Yeah, but it's a little different. So they're rolling out these sponsored ads, and basically what they are, they're calling them quests. And they're just promotions for certain games. They want you to stream yourself playing that game into Discord, like into a VC or something, for a certain amount of time, and you get some sort of in-game content. Very similar to a Twitch drop.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a way that they're trying, I think Discord was like, we need to put ads on Discord to make money because Discord has historically been ad-free. And the way they made money was a service called Nitro, which is like their premium service, which you can pay to be a Nitro member. I don't pay for Nitro. I don't think you pay for Nitro.
I got it for free once or something. I don't remember what I bought or subscribed to. It gave me 3 months of Nitro. And I was like, okay. Literally never noticed a difference.
Right.
Already canceled it because I didn't want it to auto-renew.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
No, there are like little benefits, but so the fact that so many people use Discord and it being free and it's ad-free, obviously it's not a great move. We've had Discord have to lay off employees.
17%.
Yeah. They grew really big during the pandemic because a lot of people were using these, voice chatting services. So they did really well, but now they're having to lay off people. They need to make money, and I get that.
I do too, but there's a lot of free ways to voice chat or video chat.
Yeah. And
we already have, Discord friends that we know saying like, well, I'll just go over to Skype. I'll go back to Skype or I'll go back to whatever.
No, they won't. They won't.
I'm just telling you what they said, Randy.
Okay.
I can name them by name.
I know. I saw it. I saw it in the Discord channel. I saw it.
Now, am I going to Skype? No, not over some little corner ads. I am not, because I really love Discord. But I did include this quote from the CEO because I thought it was really funny. So this is the justification for adding these ads, and it turns out, guys, it has nothing to do with money. CEO Jason Citron said in an internal memo that the cuts were being made to sharpen our focus and improve the way we work together to bring more agility to our organization.
That's about the people they laid off?
That's about the layoffs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a really great way to put it.
They got to sharpen their agility.
Well, when you sharpen a knife, you got to cut off some metal to get there. You know what I mean? And that makes the knife more agile.
Right. Because it weighs less.
Yeah. And now it cuts through the air faster.
That's the sound it makes.
But so
Can you do that sound? That was awful. Go ahead.
Okay. So I think this is interesting because they've turned these ads on, but they're trying to do it in a way they're like, look, let's put it in a way that maybe people won't be mad about. Let's just not put random ads. Let's try to make it like a Twitch drop thing. To me, this seems a little forced. Like they're like,
oh yeah,
hey, stream this, you get something. It's not just an ad, it's a quest. It's not an ad.
Yeah.
This is something for you. We're giving you something. We're not taking things from you.
Right.
We're not monetizing you on Discord, which is what it is.
Yeah. And they also claim you can turn them off. I tried. I couldn't figure it out.
All you were able to do is turn off their ability to serve you customized ads.
Yes. Which clearly they weren't doing already because they're trying to get me to stream the finals.
Which is a big game.
Yeah, but I don't play it. I did play it about 3 times.
I think, well, it seems like the hype for the finals has died off a good bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just can't do those games. Now, if it was really serving me up a personalized ad, it would have been like stream Sea of Thieves.
Right.
We'll give you this random cosmetic.
Maybe it just hasn't had time to learn yet. And I'm sure also they have ad partners, people who are paying for these ad spots, and maybe Sea of Thieves hasn't done that yet.
100%.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
They just know that you're gaming, so they're like, stream the finals. Mm-hmm. Maybe they see that you've played the finals.
Maybe. It's been a while. I played it at launch and quit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So let's talk about this Discord poll. So we obviously use Discord quite a bit. In fact, get on our Discord server.
We're getting there.
We'll
bro.
get there.
We're getting there.
We'll get there.
I thought it was going to be funny to plug the Discord after we trash Discord. Come on, let me cook.
Okay. Okay. Here's with this Discord poll. We asked, do you use Discord?
Yeah. At 21%, people said sometimes. At 23%, people said rarely. At 22%, people said never. And at 34%, people said often. I thought it would be higher, to be honest with you. I think it's because we have a lot of console gamers in the gaming gig.
Well, now there's Discord on all the major consoles except Switch.
True, and I do think we might skew a little towards Switch, but
I think we do.
That whole Discord thing on Xbox and PlayStation is amazing. I'm so glad it's there. Mm-hmm. But I think it kind of flew. I think it kind of slid in there for some people.
Flew under the radar.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. It's not very obvious. Like it's not like they made a big deal about it.
No, and they should have because I thought that was a great feature. But yeah, no, they didn't. Hey, there's my Discord.
You got your notifications on?
I don't know why. I don't know where that came from.
Anyways. So, yeah. I mean, a lot of people use Discord. I was surprised that, this seems pretty split. So a lot of people, 22% of people saying never. That's still actually pretty good, I think. We're talking about 78% of people have used it at least a little bit.
Oh, yeah. And it's been huge, in the gaming circle forever. Mm-hmm. So I'm not at all surprised by that.
We got a comment from Nim Blasto who said, if I'm not playing games, then I'm either watching YouTube or chatting in Discord. Me and you both, man.
Yeah. Legitimately, me and Randy and you both. I'm either playing a game, I'm watching a YouTube video, or I'm probably playing a game on Discord.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel very read like a book here.
You're very related to him. Mm-hmm. You have a lol comment here. What is this?
Yeah, so I wanted to read this because it reminded me of us.
Okay.
Doggo said, I can only talk to my brother and he always mutes me. I have muted Randy a bunch of times.
Oh my gosh. That is so funny. I'm sorry your brother mutes you on Discord.
That's just the way it goes.
It's the only person I can talk to on Discord and he mutes me.
That's the way it goes, Doggo. Brothers do that.
That is how brothers are, man. Yeah. That is, I had a brother. If me and my brother had Discord back in the day, if Discord was a thing, we would have been muting each other constantly. We would not have let it fly.
No, definitely not. So, do you have anything else to add about these ads?
No, I don't.
Okay, so I'm going to do a real smooth segue here. We've been talking about Discord ads, so I'm going to tell you, join our Discord server. Okay, we've got ads. It's a really cool place to hang out and check out these ads together. There's a join link in the description of this video.
Yeah, we'd love to have you there. We have channels for all kinds of stuff. Obviously, a lot of gaming gig related stuff. Find out when the podcast goes live. Find out when we post videos on the main gaming gig channel. Mm-hmm. When we go live on Twitch.
Yep.
But also just a good place to chat video games. We talk about the polls.
Mm-hmm.
Have people looking for people to play Sea of Thieves with.
Yep.
It's just a cool place.
Yeah, we stream the finals so that we can satisfy the quests. No, we don't.
Sure we do.
All right, moving on.
All right.
So, Randy, take us into this next topic because I know it's near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, this is a big one. So, I did see this pop up, and we're going to be talking about Tekken, and specifically microtransactions being added to Tekken. Now they've added, it seems like Tekken's been one of these games, Tekken 8 specifically.
Tekken 8.
The game launched, people loved it, and then they're like, well, now that people love the game, let's just try to sneak some more ways to monetize in. Microtransactions have been added in, but now most recently they've added sort of like a season pass type thing, you know.
Yeah.
They're just looking for more ways to monetize, and it's starting to get to be a little gross.
Yeah, so it was a $70 game to begin with.
Right.
They knew ahead of time they had a banger. Okay, this game is great. It really is great. So $70 game, fair enough. Okay, fair play to you. Then they're like, okay, well, you want to buy some more outfits? Give me your damn money.
Yeah.
Okay, so they sprinkle that crap in, and then they're like, holy crap, they gave us their damn money.
Right, yeah.
Season pass, here you go. Give us more money. You know, and I think they had all this planned from the beginning. I don't think this is reactionary. I think they're executing a plan.
Right. This seems to be the thing, and it's super shady and sucks. Game will come out with very little or no microtransactions so that it reviews well. It gets a lot of hype up front, and then they just start sprinkling it in after the fact. Honestly, it makes me like genuinely sort of angry a little bit that this happens, because I would rather you be upfront and honest. You know, you had Suicide Squad kill the Justice League. At least all that crap was in there at the beginning, though people could hate on it right up front.
Yeah. And, you know, I can make this even worse.
Okay.
Tekken 8, you could have bought like the Super Edition or whatever.
Okay.
Which generally you would think comes with this crap.
Everything, you know, it's probably what? How expensive was it? $100?
Probably $100.
Jeez.
It's probably $100. Now that's, I don't know because I didn't buy it, but I think it's probably $100. And it ain't come with no battle pass. You got to buy the battle pass.
No.
You know, now Street Fighter 6 also has microtransactions, but they were upfront about it.
Right. As you should be.
Yeah, and they don't seem to be getting as much hate for it as this, because this just seems, like you said, it seems a little slimy, a little gross.
The fact that they're doing it like a few months after release is what makes it way worse in my mind. If it was there right up at the very beginning and you knew like that was how they were planning on monetizing this game, the thing is it's already a $70 game.
Right.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, so I included, these are not comments from a poll, but these were in the VGC article that I read. So this is from a Reddit comment who said they were dishonest and lied, and that they always knew there was going to be a Tekken shop and a battle pass, but spoon-fed it to the community because they knew there would be backlash if they told us from the beginning. That's exactly what we're saying.
Yeah, it's gross. It seriously is gross.
And, you know, Helldivers 2 has caught a lot of positive press for the way they do their battle passes because they don't expire, right? They take the FOMO out of it. Well, guess what? Tekken 8 doesn't, because on a separate thread, they wrote, I love Tekken 8, but I also feel like we've been catfished. Adding all this horrible FOMO crap after launch is scummy practice, and they're fully aware of what they're doing and why they are doing it this way.
Yeah. 100%.
Yep.
And it sucks because like Tekken 7 was such a huge game and it brought so many people into Tekken, and it feels like now they're saying like, okay, now that we have this audience, let's milk them. And it's just like, why would you take this, you created this great thing. Why would you try to ruin it like this?
It is such a great game. It is so visually impressive. The mechanics are great. It's better than Tekken 7 in every way, if you ask me. And Tekken 7 did get me into Tekken. It's the first fighting game to be on Unreal Engine. It was so anticipated, and then, they got all these people in, and they're just milking us. And it looks bad.
It's a very bad look. Very bad look.
I'll tell you the only thing that might be able to save this game.
What's that?
If they bring in Tifa as a downloadable content.
Free
Free
Make
Tifa.
her free.
Hashtag free Tifa.
Maybe that's it. You know, I don't know. So obviously, like you've written down here, clearly gamers are tired of this. I don't like to see this. So why do companies keep doing it? It's gross. I don't know.
I know.
Yeah. Because they can. People make money off of it.
Absolutely.
We did recently, I think last week we talked about Dragon's Dogma 2 and this being a thing, but I don't even think Dragon's Dogma 2 is even close to this.
No, I don't think it was near this gross.
No, I mean, there was a $70 game that did have a lot of microtransactions, but they were optional. They had no FOMO. They weren't season passes. They weren't like none of that crap.
Now, it's a little not apples to apples because a fighting game,
You could argue that it's a live service game. We've had this argument before.
You can definitely argue that, and it's also not just a single-player adventure experience. It's not the same kind of game.
No, it's not.
And I do think having microtransactions in those games that are meant to be that is grosser, but the way Tekken is doing it is way worse.
Yes.
Okay, so that was a little bit of a nuanced stance to take. I just think this genre lends itself to it more, but Tekken is doing it way too bad.
It definitely makes more sense in this genre. I will agree. But when you say the game is $70, they're not pricing it like it's a live service game.
Right.
So, and then they've already put a premium price on it, a premium price tag for entry, but then they put the FOMO microtransactions on top of that. It just feels like the comment said earlier, it feels very scummy.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel good at all. It makes me not want to get into the game. I'm like, screw that. Like, come on.
Exactly. And, Helldivers is hot right now, so it's on my brain. But all these things we're talking about, Helldivers does correctly. Okay? It was a $40 game, and they don't have the FOMO crap. And any of the downloadable, like, little microtransaction things are only a couple bucks anyway. I bet you Tekken doesn't even have that going for it.
I guarantee it doesn't.
So, maybe it's not that gamers don't want the opportunity to support the game and spend a couple bucks. Maybe it's the FOMO and the outlandish prices that piss them off more, because nobody seems mad about Helldivers.
No, it's all about how you do it. And the fact that they are clearly trying to sneak it in once the game has already gotten its reviews. It's already scored really high on Metacritic. It's got probably, great Steam reviews. Once they have all that established, then they try to sneak it in. That's what feels gross.
That is gross.
Yeah. Okay.
Do better.
Do better.
Namco.
All right, we have one more topic to talk about today. And this was probably the biggest story that, came out this week, was that this game coming up, Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga, which is my personal, most hyped game. It's the game I'm looking for more than any other game this year.
I ain't never heard you mention it.
I guess you certainly have, my friend. I know you have. It is going to be locked at 30 frames per second on Xbox, which... Yeah. So because this is an Xbox game, it is coming out on PC as well, because we know all Xbox games are on console and PC day one together. The PC version will be able to adjust, and if you have a beefy rig, you can play it at whatever frame rate
PC Master Race
your PC will let you do. But on Xbox Series consoles, it's going to be locked to 30 frames per second with a dynamic resolution.
Yeah, so what this does is tell me I'm wrong. I do need to continue to buy Xboxes, because the PC obviously isn't good enough.
Right, no.
Wrong,
very wrong.
I actually am really curious where you're going to get this game.
I'm going to play it on PC.
You are going to, because you have this new beefy PC. I was going to be kind of mad at you.
I'm going to play it on PC.
Okay,
100%. Good. Well, the reason is that I'm not going to buy the game because it's on Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass. Okay.
It's on Game Pass. So because it's going to Game Pass day one, I'm just going to Game Pass it on PC.
There you go.
And then I can just play it. I'm going to be able to play it at a high frame rate. And hopefully, my monitors aren't great, so I'm going to be playing at 1080 anyway. So I'm going to probably, who knows what frame rate I'm going to be able to play this at.
3 million.
Actually, no. It doesn't matter because my monitor's only 60. I'm going to be playing it at 1080 60, but at least it'll be 60 frames per second.
Yeah, and it'll be locked
It will be super locked, yeah.
Yeah, so like Randy said, you can only increase the frame rate on PC. The reason they said they did this is because they wanted to make the game feel more cinematic. Because movies generally display at 24 frames a second.
We've heard this excuse over and over and over throughout the years that when a game comes out and it's locked at 30, they say they did it to make it more cinematic. It is the worst, most obvious excuse that you're just saying, look, I get it, guys. I don't expect an Xbox Series S to play a game that looks so, Hellblade 2 looks phenomenal. It's one of the best games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't expect the Series S to be able to play that at 60. Just admit that it can't. Just say, the Xbox can't do it.
Well, if we want it to be so cinematic, why is it 30 and not 24? That's my question. If you want it to look like a movie and it be 24 frames a second, then stop being such a coward and give me a locked 24 frames a second that I can't adjust. And let's see how much money you make.
Look.
This is So transparent.
No, it's obvious. It's obvious what this is, but at the same time, I don't care. Like, even if I could only play this on Xbox, I don't care. I genuinely think that we've known from the very beginning that this game's thing was going to be the best looking game that they could put together. Like, that was what they were going for. They were never like, it's going to be the most fluid and have high frame rates. Like, that was never what we expected. We've known this. I don't care. As long as it is truly like locked at 30, that doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, and we had a lot of comments saying that on this next poll we're about to move to. So we asked the Gaming Gig Faithful, if a game looks amazing, are you okay with being locked at 30 FPS for a cinematic experience? And 76% of us said, yeah, we can deal with 30 FPS. Only 24% said no, can't handle it, can't do it, gross, get out of here. Give me 24 or bust.
And like this very first comment is exactly how I feel.
Yep.
This is from Stevie Biggins Gaming, who said 30 frames per second when done correctly feels fine. It's the uneven pacing and whatnot that causes the issues. 100%. To me, I don't really care about frame rate as long as it is an even, locked, steady frame rate. I would rather it be 30 and be set there than to be like between 30 and 60 but be a variable frame rate. Something about a variable frame rate really doesn't look good to me. It like kind of throws me out of the experience.
Right, and I think that's why some monitors and such have variable refresh rate. Because apparently it smooths that out a lot. I have never seen it with my naked eyes. I've never seen a variable refresh rate monitor. Like the ROG Ally has a variable refresh rate screen, and people say it really helps with that. I would be really curious to see how that actually looks.
But how many monitors out there actually have the ability to have a variable refresh rate screen?
I'm sure a lot of them do, but they're probably expensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like my computer monitors definitely don't have that. I don't think my TV does.
No, our TVs don't. We have the same TV, just mine's a little smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I agree with you. A locked 30, as long as it's locked, is fine.
Perfect.
But I do have a limit.
Okay.
And I'm not the only one here. So we got a comment here from Ray Chi, who said, "Give me eye candy, but if the frame rate drops to 20 FPS, I'm out." I'm kind of with Ray Chi on this. Once it drops below 30, it does start to look pretty bad to me. That being said, I played Tears of the Kingdom.
I'm gonna say you played Tears of the Kingdom, so you got nothing, man.
And I loved it.
Right, you have nothing.
But I noticed every time, and I did not like it.
No, yeah.
That game was just so good it didn't matter. But not every game is.
No, there are very few Tears of the Kingdoms out there.
Very few.
As long as it's locked, I'm cool with it. I agree. But it's something about moving around, that frame rate shifting.
Yeah.
I don't love that. Like on my old PC, when I would play Sea of Thieves, the frame rate would go up and down a lot, and it really bothered me. Now, my new PC, I have it locked at 60, and it never wavers. I mean, it doesn't matter what. It never even ticks down one frame rate. It's like super locked.
I bet it is.
And I love that. It feels so smooth to me. Even though on my Xbox and on my TV that has 120 frames per second, I can play it at 120.
And that looks so good.
Oh, I know.
I remember doing that.
But still, I have no problem playing at 60. I have no problem playing it at 30. As long as it is super locked, I don't care.
Yeah, I agree. It's the pacing, uneven pacing that makes it worse, not the 30. Right. So, I found this comment from the glitch counter. Okay, hit us with this.
Yeah, it says an unwavering 30 with good details, particle effects, and view distance trumps stupid link. Some people will go for 60.
I thought it was interesting they were bringing in like particle effects, view distance, and things like that, because that does make a huge difference. If you're running at 60 FPS, but you're getting crazy pop in, that's probably more distracting.
100%. 100%. And sometimes, I mean, like, I know that, like, I haven't done it a whole lot, but I know you've probably done a lot, because this is, I think about like Steam Deck users and the things that you have to go through to try to get your Steam Deck to sometimes run a game at 60 frames per second. You make sacrifice after sacrifice after sacrifice to do it.
100%. Now, I'm not somebody who always goes for 60.
Okay.
I go for minimum 30.
Okay.
45 is the goal.
But what if you do you ever just think like, I'm going to see if I can get a rock solid 30 and just make the graphics as good as I can get it at a rock solid 30?
100%.
Okay.
I've played, yeah, I definitely did that with Witcher 3 comes to mind.
Okay.
Like I was like, okay, I think 30 is going to be good enough for this game. And I approached it exactly like that. You know, now I'm always also trying to balance battery life because I think that's important in a handheld. But yeah, I've done that.
I don't get the battery life thing with the Steam Deck. Because
well, it's like if you unplug it, you can still play it. That's the thing.
Well, I know. I'm
that's
just saying,
battery,
like,
that's what battery life is.
As an adult who doesn't have a whole, no, I know what it means, Daniel. What I'm saying is, like, as an adult who rarely can game more than an hour or two at a time, like, I've never ran across the battery issue with the Switch, Steam Deck, any like modern handheld, PlayStation Portal. I've not had any problems with their battery life. I've never even been like, oh my gosh, it's about to die, I got to plug it in. It just hasn't happened to me.
Well, I think you're kind of looking at it as the approach of like you're always going to just go 100 to 0. I don't think it's about like taking the battery out in one sitting. I think it's a matter of how often do you need to charge it, especially because I use the rest mode on the Steam Deck so much. You know, that standby
time. Do you not
time.
plug it in when you're done with it? When you're done playing?
I don't constantly leave it plugged in, no.
Oh, see, that's the thing. I always do. So I just like always, when I'm done, I just plug it in.
I mean, it's not that big a deal. Valve even says that the Steam Deck has like pass-through charging and that it'll, you know, hold at like 80, kind of like an iPhone.
Yeah, yeah.
But leaving something plugged in is not the best thing for the battery. So I don't do that.
I know, but I do that with all my devices.
I know. And even mine.
I do it with your Steam Deck. When I'm done playing it, I go put it on the dock and plug it in.
Yeah, no, I don't do that all the time because sometimes it's in my backpack, sometimes it's in my like nightstand because I play like it. My
Fair.
Steam Deck migrates, you know.
Fair.
So we kind of got off topic there, but you know, I found a lot of comments of people talking about can you tell the difference between 30 and 60? And before we get into these comments, Randy, I'm curious to see if you can tell the difference. Do you think you can see it?
I can. Okay, like I used to say like no. Like, I just can't tell the difference between 30 and 60. And I will say that now I've gotten more sensitive to it. But still, if it's a really locked 30, I never even think about the frame rate. Same thing if it's a locked 60. I only ever think about it if I keep having dips and swings.
Right.
And that could be even if it's higher than 30.
Yeah. But that wasn't the question.
No.
The question was, can you tell the difference? If I give you a game that's at a locked 30, and then I give you a game that's at a locked 60, are they going to feel different? Maybe even if I change the settings so that it's the same game.
Yeah.
You play it at 30, then you play it at 60. Can you tell?
Yes, but only if you ask me to like say like, okay, which one of the, if you gave me two and you were like, okay, which one of these is running at 30, which one at 60? Because what I would do is I would take the camera and I would pan it around and see which one looks smoother, and I'd be able to tell you. Yes, I would be able to tell you. Now, if you just like handed me the game at 30 and let me play it for a while and then changed it to 60 and didn't even tell me and then gave it back to me and I didn't know to be looking for it, I don't know that I would notice.
So you think if I just gave you a random game, didn't tell you the frame rate, you couldn't, like if it was either 60 or 30 and then I asked you to guess, you think if you weren't thinking about it, you would have a hard time?
Yes. If I wasn't, now if you were like guess and I was able to like pan the camera around and like, because I can tell the difference now. But no, I don't know that I would notice if it was super locked.
I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
So we got some comments here said, you know, T-Y-Y-Y.
Yeah.
Said, I personally can't tell the difference between 30 and 60. And then we got another comment from Swagger Nautilus who said, anyone who says they can see the difference between 30 and FPS is a liar.
30 and 60 FPS.
What did I say?
You said 30 and FPS.
30 and 60 FPS is a liar. I think we're both liars then because I'm right there with you. I can 100% tell. But if I'm not thinking about it and then you asked me to guess later, I don't know if I could get it if it was locked.
If it's really locked, I can definitely not tell at all.
But I spend most of my time playing games on a Steam Deck. Every single one of those games I have tweaked to get the performance I want.
Right.
And there's an FPS counter in the corner at all times.
I know.
So, yeah, I can tell the difference between 30 and 45. I know I can. Because I've done it with Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
I was playing it at 60, and then I was like, I want to up the graphics just a little bit. And then I went too far, and I was playing it at 30, and I was like, I wonder if there's a middle ground. And I made it to 45, and it looks noticeably better. That also has to do with the refresh rate of the panel, though.
There's a lot to do with that.
Yeah. So there's a lot that goes into it. Yes, we can tell the difference.
Yeah, but like I said, if a game runs solid, I don't know that I would, in a practical, like I'm just playing the game, I don't know that I care. Like I just got done playing Mario versus Donkey Kong on Switch. I never thought once about what frame rate that game runs at because it just runs at a solid frame rate, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't even care what frame rate it runs at.
Well, just because we can tell doesn't mean it matters.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was getting to. Like, it doesn't necessarily matter. As long as it's locked and it's a good game, we don't care. But there is a difference.
There is a difference, and you can tell the difference. Should you care about the difference? No. I just want my game to run well.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah. Okay, my friend. If you guys have hung out with us this entire time, I just want to say thank you. We're on to our last segment of the podcast, which is our 3 for Dale Club. Want to remind you guys that YouTube members now get a bonus video every week. So if you would like to become a YouTube member and support the podcast, we would love to have you there. Today, we're going to be talking about what in our bonus video?
PlayStation Portal.
Oh, we're going to be talking about the PlayStation Portal.
And giving an update on the games we're playing.
That is right. Some interesting stuff here with the PlayStation Portal about emulation. Some interesting stuff happened this week. So if you'd like to become a YouTube member, if you're not already, we'll see you in the bonus video. But right now, the 3 for Dale Club.
That's right. Have we told them how to join?
No, we have not. Hit them with how to join.
3 for Dale Club, it's our exclusive club. You know, you made it all the way to the end. You deserve a reward. You really do. So drop us a comment and say whatever the heck you want to say. Just make sure you include the phrase 3 for Dale. Okay, that's our secret code phrase that tells us you made it.
Yep, I look for those and we shout you out. So actually, Daniel looks for him now. I don't even look for him anymore. Okay, Daniel. Starting us off here, we got Landon Stallings, who is the king of the 3 for Dale Club.
Some call him Dale himself.
I do. It's hard for me to say Landon when I just think Dale.
Yeah.
Landon says, me and my friends have been getting back into Xbox these last few months, and we've all agreed that being able to play Game Pass natively on the go would be amazing. But as I mentioned, the price would definitely make or break the device for us.
Yeah, this is in reference to last week. We were talking about a prospective Xbox handheld.
That's right, yeah. I would love to see what price it would be. Me and Daniel kind of argued on that.
Yeah, so I saw that you posted a comment saying Daniel thinks it'd be really expensive. I think it was a little more contextual than that. I don't remember exactly. I didn't go back and look. I think you were saying, you know, like you named some prices.
I said I want it to be like $400, and you're like, it's not going to happen.
And you also said like it needs to be as powerful as a Series S, and I was like, it's not going to happen for $400. But then you were like, well, I'm thinking next generation, and then I'm like, well, maybe by next generation. I was thinking like this generation.
Yeah.
There's no way they're going to put something out for just a little more than a Series S that can do everything it can, but be portable. The technology is just, it's not that cheap. It's just not going to happen. But so yeah, I disagreed with you, but not in such an out of context kind of way, Coyote. Damn. I
like taking your things out of context.
All right. Next 3 for Dale member this week is Tom Derry, who said, I ain't got much of a comment today. 3 for Dale.
Tom's like, I ain't got much to say about this Microsoft handheld stuff. 3 for Dale.
That's all right. That's all right.
At least you got your 3 for Dale in, Tom. All right, next we got D18, who said, I would definitely buy an Xbox handheld as one of the 13 Xbox Series owners on the planet and someone that has a fairly good-sized library on the Xbox digitally. I would love to play it in handheld. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that for a lot of people, a handheld for Xbox would be the move.
And I don't want to cut this comment short because it had one of my favorite things at the bottom. They go on to say, currently going for RDR2 100%, and it would be great to watch something on TV while I hunt down 3 for Dale million different obscure animal pelts. I love it when people work in 3 for Dale into a sentence. It makes me so happy.
Yeah.
So that's why I included that. All right. Next member of the 3 for Dale Club is Bombs Away 12. Bomb said, I think I may get an Xbox since that's what my mom likes. And I grew up with the OG Xbox. That means OG. And everything through to the 1. I would also maybe pick up the PS5 as well, but probably after the PS6 comes out since I do want to make a video game console collection. Hashtag 3 for Dale. Trending #1 on Zitter.
Interesting, you know, like saying like get a PS5 after the PS6 comes out, like just in retrospect.
Yeah. Keeping up with the Joneses through the Xbox, but then retroactively the PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean, like I'd say we've talked about this a million times. There's really not a big difference between the PS5 and the Xbox Series system in terms of if you're looking for a console.
Yeah.
The only difference is exclusive games.
And one of them has them.
Yeah, one has and one doesn't, and that does seem to be a problem. But one has Game Pass and the other one doesn't. I mean, so there are like...
True.
One has Quick Resume and one doesn't.
True.
The Xbox is the one with Quick Resume.
One has rechargeable batteries and one doesn't. One has gyro and one doesn't. One has adaptive triggers and one doesn't.
Yeah. Okay. So there are definitely some maybe more. Honestly, if I had to pick one, if I had to get rid of one right now, I would have to get rid of my Xbox Series because I could do it all on PC.
One has Helldivers and one doesn't. One has Final Fantasy VII Remake and one doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
One is a lot more ergonomic on your shelf and the other one doesn't.
Yeah. One looks like a giant Wi-Fi router and one doesn't.
Fact.
One looks like a fridge and one doesn't.
All right, hit us with our last 3 for Dale member here.
Last one today is going to be Kit, who is also a YouTube member. Thank you, Kit.
Thank you, Kit.
All right, Kit says, if my Xbox was essentially a gaming PC and I could play Helldivers, I wouldn't be here right now because I'd be one happy some gum diving some hell right now. There'd definitely be red tape galore stopping Steam from coming to Xbox, but if Phil made it happen somehow, I wouldn't even be debating selling the old Xbox Series X.
So Kit's referencing Phil Spencer saying, I want to bring these other storefronts into the Xbox. And, you know, they're kind of saying there's probably some hidden red tape stopping that from happening. And I'd maybe be inclined to agree through some sort of supposition.
But what if? What if Xbox does the thing where they just say, you know what? We're going to just put up our next console and it's just going to be a PC and it's just going to be branded as an Xbox.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, I've thought more about this Xbox handheld since we did that podcast. And I do agree. If they pulled it off, right? If Xbox brought Steam, Epic, all those into their OS for whatever this handheld is, and it could download and natively run, you know, Game Pass games or Xbox games, whatever. You know, have the Xbox store as well, basically. And the hardware was good, that would be the king.
Oh, yeah.
That would be the king. However, that hinges on the OS because what I just described is every Windows handheld.
Right.
The ROG Ally can already do that, right? The Legion Go can already do that. What people don't like is the OS. So if Xbox fixed that, that is kind of magic.
And I don't think it would, I really just don't see it being that hard because I don't think like Steam even really put that much into their OS for the Steam Deck because it's just like what? It's just like big picture mode. Is that what it's called? It's essentially that, isn't it?
It's very similar to big picture mode, but it's been tweaked and tweaked and tweaked and tweaked. Like they've listened to user feedback. You see it in the updates. To say they haven't put that much into their OS, everyone should attack him right now.
No.
That's ridiculous.
Look, I'm just saying as a person, I haven't used it very much, but when I do look at it, it reminds me of big picture mode. It just seems like it's that.
It's the same kind of presentation.
Right. I just don't see why, you know, like Xbox would have that much of a problem putting together a comparable, if not better OS. I just don't see why it would be that difficult. And of course, as a person who's never done any of that crap, so
I'm shocked, shook, and shaken.
Okay. I'm not talking crap about Steam. I'm just saying I don't think it's that revolutionary that putting together an operating system that is mobile, handheld friendly is that crazy of an idea.
It's the only one that's done it though. So why hasn't someone else done it? I guess is what I'm getting at. Because
true,
you know, it goes beyond the presentation of the UI. Like even just something as simple as the sleep mode, it works so well. Those Windows handhelds, the sleep mode is janky. Everyone says it. Like their thing will just wake up in the case and burn the battery. Like
that's weird
because it's a PC and like PC sleep mode can occasionally be a little janky. Like you never like walked into your office and your PC's on. You know, like your monitor's on randomly. Like
that's definitely happened.
That kind of stuff happens on the handhelds, and it's a lot worse on the handhelds because they're not plugged into the wall. You know,
right?
They're probably locked in a case, probably generating all sorts of heat. You know. Anyway, I know I'm a Steam Deck shield, but I just couldn't sit by idly here.
I don't see why you're getting all up in arms about this. I disagree. But
attack him. Everyone attack him. He's wrong.
Well, guys, that brings us to the end. So, on to the bonus episode for members. But until next time, I'm Randy.
Which makes me Daniel.
And this has been Gaming Gig.
Go Braves.